G'day guys, how you doing? It's the Kiwi, back with another video. And this past Saturday, I got to do a podcast with Jeff Mara on his podcast show. And this is a thank you video to Jeff with some other information on the back end. First and foremost, I really wanted to thank Jeff for having me on his podcast. It was absolutely an incredible experience, and I genuinely mean that. We were talking for a total of about 2 hours, and it honestly just felt just like that. The time just rolled on by absolutely effortlessly, and Jeff did an amazing job of just kind of letting me navigate through my experiences and what have you, and then he asked me a number of questions in regards to other subject matter, and it was just an amazing experience. And I truly believe that what Jeff is doing is a great service for people out there in this world, because when you watch these people that have had these experiences like what I've had or what other people have had, not just near-death experiences, but out-of-body experiences, even potential abduction experiences, etc. It does help expand one's consciousness in some way, shape or form. Even if you don't believe what you're listening to, it's going to plant a seed of some sort in some way, shape or form, because the truth and the reality is there is so much more to this life here while we're here living this life than what we actually realize. And I think it's really awesome that people are actually starting to come out more and more and sharing these experiences with the world. It needs to be done because there is so much more to this life than what we've been told or how we've been programmed, etc. Like a good example, I did a video about how the programming starts for our ego, with our ego. And I'm going to be doing a lot more subject matter on these subjects because people need to know how things have ended up being the way they are in our world today. So Jeff is doing a phenomenal job in regards to getting that information out there into the world. So again, Jeff, sincerely, thank you so much. You're doing a great work by getting this stuff out there. But one of the things that I wanted to add to in regards to the experience that I had doing the podcast with Jeff was one of the side effects of this experience that I had was I learned how easily life can slip away. Like life can just vanish just like that. You can leave this world and end up back on the other side, and we never know when that's going to happen. And one of the things that my experience did for me is it made me really get busy in life. It made me hit the ground running. It made me get out into the world and actually start facing life in a way that I never ever thought I would in a million years. A lot of people, I think, most probably feel that I'm maybe a little bit full of doo-doo in regards to the experiences that I've had. A lot of people might think or believe that because I work on cars, build fast cars, hot rods, custom cars, land speed vehicles, that there is no way that somebody like myself could have these experiences. However, the reality of the situation is that you can. That's all there is to it. These experiences aren't specifically for any one particular individual or any one particular group of individuals. They can happen to anybody. And with my experience, when I died, when I came back, I actually didn't realize up until maybe about a year, 2 years ago, that I had hit the ground running so hard because I was so scared of, I don't even think saying scared is the right word, to be honest with you. I just hit the ground running, and I just threw myself at life. And, you know, a lot of the experiences that I had, a lot of people would actually consider them to be unpleasant. But as I've said in a couple of videos now, you know, everything's come full circle, and I've been able to connect all these dots and cross all these T's, like have everything's falling into place inside of me, like deep down inside of me. The experiences that I'm having now, as far as even from my work, which is a very physical, creative, working with metal, steel, and aluminum, all the way over to the astral realm, as far as my dreaming, the visions that I'm having now, etc. And they're all to do with connecting all these different dots. And it's been, you know, it's an incredible experience right now. And I really, really sincerely mean that. I never thought in a million years that I would be where I am today. It is absolutely one of the most profoundly humbling experiences I think I could have ever possibly wished for, even though I didn't wish for it. But what I'm going to be doing, I've already started to do videos on this subject. There is a huge amount of misinformation, and Jeff and I actually talked about this, about how there needs to be a lot of subject matter out there needs to have different language around it. A perfect example is, like, I did a video, just the last video that I did was about how the ego is formed, how the ego actually is developed inside this structure, the human body. And there's this concept that there's this separation, because our world that we live in is a world of duality, okay, where we have hot and cold, light, darkness, salt, pepper, man, woman, you know, oxygen, water, and they're both the same components. When you take oxygen and water, they're actually one and the same. When you start to realize how the world of duality works, we apply these separations, this separation in life, to pretty much everything, okay? And when it comes to the actual soul, the actual spirit, the actual body, like I said in that video about how the ego is formed, mind, body, and soul, it's all one. There is zero separation. The only separation that happens between the body and the soul is when you die. And we need to stop utilizing a lot of this separation language to the mind, which is the ego, then the body, which is the physical, and then the soul, which is the spirit. So we need to we need to start bringing certain subjects back together under one roof. And because I listen to a lot of different people out there that have channels on this subject. I've just been talking with a guy right now for the last couple of hours on YouTube, in a comment where, you know, he's in this massive state of denial because he thinks he's this incredibly spiritual person, but he doesn't realize that he's actually having a massive ego trip. And it's because he believes that he has separated himself from the ego. And what truthfully, sincerely, and I mean this, what happens, it's actually the ego, the mind, trying to separate the soul, trying to remove the spirit aspect of who we are out of the picture. And we need to start having an honest, if there is to be any sort, and I've mentioned this in my channel update video, if there's to be any sort of transition into a more conscious way of thinking, living, and experiencing this realm where we live, we need to have these honest conversations. That's all there is to it. I've had a huge amount of experience with what would be called the shadow, and it's not the shadow, it's actually the soul, and we'll be talking about this stuff far more in depth as we go along. I've kind of set up one of the rooms at the townhouse that I live in, so as an office, so we'll actually be able to start really getting into this stuff a little bit more deeply. I'll get a whiteboard so I can draw stuff out and explain it, because a lot of people like seeing pictures and drawings and stuff like that. So yeah, there's going to be, and there will still be the red pill stuff. I need people to know that one of the jobs of me being here is to bring about a level of truth into the world. So there will still be red pill stuff. That's all there is to it. That is part of living here. These are truths, and like I've said in previous videos, it's said biblically, and that is that the man with the watery pail will bring truth upon this earth. And that is what this timeline is about. It's about truth. Truth on all levels. Just look at what is happening with the fires here in Los Angeles right now. That is truth. That's all there is to it. You know, there's going to be truths like this rolling out into people's lives in so many different ways over this next 20 years, like I've already explained, that things are going to really, really start getting pretty dodgy and dicey for individuals. And people need to understand why these things are happening. A lot of it is to bring truth into people's worlds, you know, and so there's a huge amount of subject matter here that, you know, I'll be touching on, diving into, and, you know, it's all about just that, bringing truth into this world. That's one of my number one jobs. The person that you see sitting before you right now, after my life coming around full circle, everything is completely and utterly fully integrated. It is absolutely, it's really interesting. I wouldn't wish people to go down the path that I've had to go down to get to this point. However, I really wish for people to be able to get to the point where I'm at right now, as far as being able to be this fully integrated mind, body, and soul. It's absolutely a beautiful experience. It really, truly is. And when you get to this point, it's incredible to see just how everything starts just coming together. It's mind-blowing, and I'm genuinely humbled by it. So that's the video. Again, sincerely, I mean it, to Jeff, thank you so much. It was absolutely an awesome experience, and hope to get to talk to you again soon in regards to some of the other experiences that I've had. And yeah, we'll just keep on moving forward. Let's see what happens with all of this stuff, huh? Alrighty? Take it easy, guys, and thank you for tuning in. I sincerely appreciate it. God bless.